Hey everyone, it's Lindsay from My Crafty Plans. Today I'm going to be planning the week of March 7th in my memory planner, which is of course my Aura Estelle A5 wide cloud planner. And for this week I actually have an anytime kit pulled out from deep within my stash. I decided to throw it back a little bit and use this older kit, which I absolutely love. I love an anytime kit for this week because for me it's just like a little bit too early for spring kits, but a little bit too late for winter kits. And this week is kind of sandwiched in between a bunch of birthday weeks. So I love an anytime kit for this week, or like an at home, something a little bit cozy, something a little bit home buddy, just perfect for this week in my planner. And I will be using this kit from Planning World. I think this is from last year, but it might actually be from the year before. And her kits have numbers, not names. And this one is B194. I absolutely love this. I love this art. So one, I think I bought this art because I love it so much. It's from TWG Designs, and I also have two kits in this art. So really excited to be using this. I just thought it was so cute and cozy. Love like the sweatpants and all of that. So this is an older kit format. It is a foiled kit and it is a full kit. So we've got like these really big journaling style boxes, some headers, and a bunch of labels all foiled, and then like a selection of boxes, including some 1/3 boxes, 2 Monday through Sunday. And then date covers and split bottom washi, and then this layering page as well, which has some deco, some flags, and different kinds of stuff. And then I will obviously be pulling a bunch from my collection as well to round this out, but I'm really excited to be planning with this. So I'm going to pull out these pages and jump right in. So jumping right in with the spread here, and I am going to be starting with the full boxes, which has kind of become my preferred methodology for starting the spreads, is putting down the full boxes first before I do like date covers or headers or any bottom washi or anything like that. That's just been what I'm feeling lately, and I am going to go pretty decorative with the tops of the date covers this time. Just super fun, mixing up lots of different styles from week to week. And I wanted to use some of the deco in this kit, which I actually love what I do with it because I cut down a lot of the deco, which is usually something I don't feel comfortable doing, but I really made it work this time. And I'm going to use some new date cover toppers that I have from JK Creates Co. that are these like gorgeous floral ones from a $2 Tuesday as well. And I just think it looks really, really nice together. Starting to bring in a little touch of spring into my planning element, although full scale spring starting next week in my planner. I've already laid the base for that spread and it's very springerific. So I'm going to mostly answer questions during the base of this, but before I do that, I thought I would mention a couple of things that I was like watching, reading, stuff like that during this week, a little currently section. Starting the week after this, I'm trying to do a little currently section in my sidebar. I didn't do it this week, but like I said, I've already laid down the base for the week after this, and I did put one in there, just like, what I've been reading, what I've been watching on TV, stuff like that. So this week I actually finished 2 books from the Kindle Lending Library available at my local library. The first of which was called The Prettiest Star, and this was by Carter Sickles, and this was honestly so good and so beautiful, but it is very, very sad. So if you are not in the mood to read something heartbreaking, I would not recommend reading this, but if you have the stomach for that, definitely this was amazing. This book was about HIV/AIDS, and it was told like through a bunch of different viewpoints around like a young man that was like dying in the 80s, and it was just really, really moving and very, very sad. So I do highly recommend that, but with the full disclosure that it's an incredibly sad story. And then the second book that I read was a British detective mystery, the second in a series that I've been reading, which is by Anne Cleeves, and the second book in this series was called The Heron's Cry. She has a bunch of different British detective series and like centering around different characters. This one is around a specific detective, but I've read a couple of different ones of her series at this point, and I really like her books, and I like her characters a lot, and I really like her as like a mystery writer. So it was another one of those books for me. This is from her newest series, so this is available so I got this through the library, but a lot of her older series are actually on Kindle Unlimited. So if you do have Kindle Unlimited, you can find some of her books, even if it's not specifically this one. And if you've been listening to my channel for any amount of time, that I super, super love Kindle Unlimited and do the majority of my reading on that and do a very bad job tracking things when I read them on Kindle Unlimited. But this week I did happen to read 2 library books. We did not watch a lot of TV this week, but early in this week we finished a show called Reservation Dogs, which we had started the week before this, and it's a comedy on FX, and it is amazing and so funny. We watched it on Hulu. I had had this on my to watch list for a really long while. I had heard about it on a TV podcast that I really like, and we finally watched it, and oh my gosh, it was just so good, so funny, and it's a pretty short season and a comedy, so the short episodes, so we burned through it pretty quickly, but I definitely highly recommend that. It centers around 4 Native American teenagers living on a reservation and just kind of their lives and their sort of schemes to get off of the reservation and just their families and the people in the community. And it's really just so, so wonderful and not something you see on TV very often, and super well done. And then other than that, we were just continuing our watch of The Dropout. I don't think we were current at this point with it, but now we are, and just watching the shows, watching the episodes as they come out weekly. But we've been really enjoying that show as well. I listened to the podcast that was called The Dropout when that came out. My husband didn't, but we both know the story from the news and stuff, but it's still super, super fascinating to watch. And I think Amanda Seyfried is so, so wonderful in the show. So we've been enjoying both of those. Well, that does not really leave much time left for questions, but I will still just answer a quick one before I jump into the day by day. This one came from Cynthia, who left it on my YouTube comments from a recent Plan With Me video. As usual, you can add in your questions if you want. I'll just leave them as a comment on any video and I will add them to my list. But she asked, what is my favorite thing to bake? I love this question because I was actually getting ready to bake something when I saw this. We do a lot of baking. Now I mostly bake with the kids, so I try and keep things a little bit more simple. And if I ever want to do something really, really fancy, I just try and do it when they're not home, since they are such wonderful helpers. But my absolute favorite specific recipe, I love to bake all different kinds of things, but the actual recipe that I think I probably bake the most is the Neiman Marcus chocolate chip cookie. If you don't know what this is, it's one of those weird internet legends that I have no idea if it's true or not, and it's a chocolate chip cookie recipe. The story goes that a woman was really the cookies that they sell at Neiman Marcus, which I don't even know that is a thing, but apparently they must have a cafe or something. Anyway, and wanted the recipe, and they told her, okay, but it will be $250, and she said okay, and then got it. And then when she got home, she saw that it was $250, not $2.50, and she was really mad and posted it on the internet for all of us to enjoy. Now, like I said, I have no idea if that's true. What I do know is that it is an absolutely delicious chocolate chip cookie recipe. Definitely my favorite chocolate chip cookie recipe. It's got oats in it, rolled oats in it, but instead of just mixing them in whole, you actually food processor them before you put them in and turn them into kind of an a gritty oat flour, and it makes for such a wonderful cookie. So those are definitely our favorite, and we actually did bake them not this week, I think, but the week after that. So anyway, I will pick up with more questions next time, or maybe I will keep doing my currently thing. Just depends on how much we're reading and watching, and I'll just try and do a balance between the two when I don't have anything specific I want to talk about in the base of the spread. But anyway, on Monday, I drank way too much coffee and was feeling super, super jittery all day and just really almost shaking the whole day. So that was really fun, and I've been trying to watch my caffeine intake since then. Anyway, on that day, I also just did my regular work. I also had to plan for the week ahead because I've been really slacking on getting the week set up before it starts. I'd like to move back towards that, but this week I was not able to do that. So I did that, and then I just did some reading, and we watched some TV that night. And then on Tuesday, I ran some errands in the morning and just mostly took the dry cleaning and hung out with the baby and all that good stuff. I also had some work to do on this day as well. And then I was really just wanting some poke for lunch. So I got poke from my favorite place in the area and just got that delivered for lunch, which I try not to get delivery lunch too many days a week, but Sometimes you just need a poke bowl. And before, they used to only let you choose like tuna or salmon on the ordering menu, but now they have like a mixed one where you can order both. And I always would have like a really hard time deciding between the two. And I feel like since they changed that option on like DoorDash, I have been ordering it so much more lately, which is probably not a good thing. But anyway, I do really like it. I was so exhausted this day. I didn't sleep well on Monday night, as you could probably guess from my comments on my caffeine intake. But I was so tired on Tuesday, and I also like didn't want to drink any coffee. Like I barely drank any coffee in the morning because I was just like really still messed up from the day before. So I ended up taking a absolutely huge nap during while the baby was napping, which I never do during the week. Like I mean I hardly ever nap on the weekends, but like for me to nap during the week, that's totally out of the norm. But it was very enjoyable. Anyway, I actually didn't even mean to. I just like was like, okay, I'm gonna lay down for like a few minutes and just like watch something on YouTube, and then I will get back to whatever I was doing. But I just fell asleep and slept like through her whole nap. So I think, and she took a not long nap too. I think I slept for like over 2 hours. Anyway, that night we finished Reservation Dogs, and I also finished the first book, The Prettiest Star, that day, and I finished that book while I was in the bath. And so I also took a bath this day. So I'm just grabbing that little gold bathtub from Crafts by Towie there. I love her bathtub icons. I think they're so cute. Anyway, on Wednesday, then I had work to do, mostly because I didn't do anything on Tuesday, so I needed to catch up on all of the stuff that I missed when I took a nap instead of doing anything else. I also did a big toy sort and cleanup this day. We were like this was right after my daughter, my oldest, had her birthday party the weekend before this, and then we had a family birthday the weekend before that, and they, with like all the new toys that had come in, and like my son's birthday is a few weeks after this, but he had already gotten like most of his family presents and stuff at this point anyways. So I really was just like, okay, we need to do like a trip down to the basement, like organize our toy situation. It was like everything was just overflowing. So I just spent some time on Wednesday getting that all together and organized and like fixed so that we have like only a manageable number of toys up in the house, and the rest is in the basement. We don't do like full toy cycling, like the way, if you know what that is, it's just basically where you keep only a select things out and then you cycle through them like every month or week or whatever it is. We don't do like full on toy cycling, but we do like kind of a less formal version of that, if you will. And we keep like the stuff we're not using in the basement, and then periodically over time I sort that as well for like donation piles. I also had a call with a friend this day that we just like caught up, and everything was really nice to talk to. And then I also did some planner stuff and did some planning that night after everyone went to sleep. And then on Thursday, I ran some more errands and just kind of like hung out with the baby. We went to Starbucks, and then it was actually pretty nice this day. So we took a walk when we got back, and like a little stroller walk. And I've just, anytime that it's nice out, we're still in like the part of the year where it's like some days it feels like full on spring, almost summer, and some days it's like freezing cold, and it like flurried the other day. So anytime it's nice outside, I'm trying to take advantage of that and get outside. And then my mom came over for dinner this night, and we got like takeout from our favorite chicken place. She was actually on her way to my brother's house from her house, and I live like kind of in between the two. So she was gonna like sleep over at his house and babysit for his kids on Friday. So she just stopped by to see the kids and have dinner with us on Thursday. So that was fun. And then that night I just hung out with my husband. We watched a little bit of TV. Actually, we started Winning Time, which I totally did not even mark in my currently section of my memory notes, which I have like on my phone that I use like in order to do these plan with me's basically. But anyway, so we started that this week apparently too, and I have been absolutely loving that. It's about the Lakers, and it's on HBO if you have not seen that show yet. I'm not a huge basketball person, and it's a really fun show. Anyway, and then I just did some reading as well that night. And then on Friday, I filmed a memory plan with me, or I finished filming a memory plan with me. But I had these really cute scripts from Lilac Luna Plants, who unfortunately is closing, or by the time you see this video, I think will already be closed. But she had these like really cute scripts, and hers are available on white paper, not just transparent matte, which I like to have a mix of scripts on white and transparent matte, just like depending on what you're putting them under. So I'm going to use a Memory Plan With Me box that is a script I had from Lilac Luna Plans. On that, I thought I was about to put it down, but I didn't realize that I was stacking a bunch of things before I started filling this out. Anyway, I also went live on Instagram this day, and I think I did a plan with me in my Moxie Life to set up my weekly action items on Instagram. That was really fun, and I've been just like enjoying doing that from time to time just to mix things up a little bit, like not anything formal around it or anything, but it's just sometimes it's fun to go live on Instagram for a minute now that I don't feel like so absolutely terrified about it, because it definitely was very daunting. At first it's still a little bit daunting, but you just have to say like, it is what it is. I'm just gonna do it. So it's fun. It's all in good fun. And then I did like a bunch of admin this day as well, and so much laundry. I think I maybe just didn't do laundry like the whole week, and I was just like, okay, now we have all of the laundry to do. And then my husband came home for lunch that day, and we ate lunch together, and I watched The Dropout on TV. I just had like a really hustling day. Oh, this was the week, I totally forgot about this, but this was the week that I like kind of just like after Monday I got like a lot of stuff done, and then I just kind of like gave up on the week, and I didn't really get that much stuff done on like Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. I had that nap. I did do the toy sort, I guess, on Wednesday, but I was just like, I don't know, I was just kind of dragging for most of the week. So on Friday, I just really tried to like get back at it and all that good stuff, kind of check back in. If you saw my functional planner for this week, I posted it on Instagram, but it's like so many blank spaces. I just like gave up on putting anything down. It was just like, you know what? I think it's okay to let this one go and start over, which definitely happens from time to time. I obviously love a really decorative functional spread if you've seen any of my functional plan with me, but sometimes you just need to just like have your to-do list and not worry about all the decorative elements. Anyway, on Saturday, we went to my dad's house, and we got a takeout feast from H Mart. He lives like near H Mart, which is an Asian supermarket, if you don't know, and the one by him has like a food court in it, which I think a lot of them do. And my dad and I went over there in person and just like picked out a bunch of different stuff, which we absolutely love. My dad like would never do that himself, but he's like he'll eat whatever you put in front of him. He's like not picky or anything. And so he loves like when we do stuff like that. So we just got like a whole feast of all different stuff, like Korean fried chicken, a bunch of different dumplings, like noodle dishes, soups, whatever, all kinds of fun stuff. And we just ate that. And we watched Turning Red this day, which I actually realized I just wrote down in my planner as Seeing Red instead of Turning Red, but that's the new Pixar movie where the little girl turns into a red panda. The kids really, really enjoyed it, and I did too. I thought that it was really funny. I think like a lot of the jokes went over the kids' head because it's like there's so many puberty jokes in it, but they still really enjoyed the movie and everything. So that was fun. And then that night I took a bath and I finished my other book of this week, The Heron's Cry. So on Sunday, it was daylight saving time. So we changed the clocks, maybe for the last time. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I hope so. I actually don't have a preference between daylight savings time and standard time. I'm like more neutral on that. I am firmly against having to change the clocks though. So I do hope that we go with one and stick with it. That would be a really nice thing. I love not having to change the clocks because I am a parent of small children. So I feel like that's a pretty universally hated thing amongst parents. Anyway, we also went to the Please Touch Museum, which is our local children's museum this day. And then we went out to lunch as a family and then just kind of did our Sunday usual, meal prep, school prep, all that good stuff. And then that night, my husband and I watched SNL on TV. Okay, that is everything all finished up. Let me show you what I have left from the kit. I didn't use any of these big boxes, but I used all of like the functional boxes. I still have some of the flags left, but I did use a good chunk of this kit. And that is it for this week. So if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I'd love it if you'd subscribe and check me out on Instagram at MyCraftyPlans to keep up with everything going on in my planners. Bye.